we'll start with the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Here.
Here. Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Correspondence. I don't believe we have any correspondence this month. Additions to business. We have no additions to business. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Moved. Second.
Motion Stack, second Duff. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that brings us to the first call to the public and opportunities for citizens to address the council on agenda items.
Lynn McCoy, 953 Wolverine Drive. I was just wondering the status of the street ending surveys that were supposed to be done.
That is a good question. I do not know the answer to that.
I don't believe they've been received, but I'll check on those tomorrow.
Okay. And as far as the Marshall ending goes, has that all been completely resolved? I know last we heard was that at one time the seawall was supposed to be deeded over to the village. Is that indeed true?
I think we're still having that researched.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody else first call to the public? Seeing none, I will close the first call. Brings us to the approval of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Motion Sinkowitz, second Stack. Further discussion? Can we get a roll call vote?
Nedrow.
Yes.
Sinkowitz.
Yes.
McGee.
Yes.
Maggie.
Yes.
Duff.
Yes.
Staff.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, council. Thank you for not taking the 50-page IP Clements contract.
Part.
Okay, we have no public hearings tonight. That brings us to item 12A, recommendations from the Water Board. We will start with a couple of new members. Mr. Scott, would you like to introduce this?
I certainly would. We had the pleasure of, well, actually, Cliff had the pleasure of interviewing Mike and Mike. I guess we have Mr. Sargent here, but we're missing the second. We have the opportunity to bring aboard two very interesting and highly qualified members. So that leaves us one short on the board, I think, now that we have the resignation of Cliff in hand, which is unfortunate in the sense, but he had to move on. I can let Mike explain a little bit. This is Mike Sargent. Explain a little bit of his background. However, I see appointment number one is for Michael Scoville, who is in short reference or short background, as you've seen in what's in your packet, the individual who is the head coach for the WC3 Jaguars. And he comes with a lot of competency and wanting to get involved. He's very involved on the lake. He skis. He, is involved in wakeboarding, involving in ice fishing, involving in all of the sports our lake has. So he's interested in joining. So therefore, I nominate him, or the board is nominating him, looking for our approval to bring him aboard.
So I hear
I'll
a
make that
motion from Scott to appoint Mike Scobie to the Water Board with a term of expiring 12/31/17.
Second.
Second Sinkowitz. Further discussion on that motion? Looks like a real good background. I think he'd be
Yeah.
a good member, and especially some administrative skills.
Yes, exactly. So.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's get a second motion, and then we can go to discussion.
Okay, sure. Well, the second motion, of course, is to bring Mr. Sargent aboard. And his background is currently as a teaching professor, correct, at Saginaw Valley. And his educational background is a master's in biology, zoology, yes. Not that there's much, well, there is a difference.
It's an ology.
It's an ology. So, without any further ado, I would like to make the motion that Mr. Sargent is welcome aboard onto the Water Management Board.
Second.
So, motion Scott, second Duff. Further discussion? Yes, somebody with actual freshwater hydrology experience.
And darn it if he didn't use that experience in the discussion, and we thank him for that.
It sounds like an excellent thing to bring to the
Yeah.
board, so. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sergeant, come on up and get sworn in. I told you it would be a rigorous grilling.
Yeah.
I'm all nervous about the right hand.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this state,
the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully perform
that I will faithfully perform
the duties of the office of Water Management Board Member
the duties of the office of the Water Management Board
in and for
in for
the Village of Wolverine Lake,
the Village of Wolverine Lake,
County of Oakland,
County of Oakland,
and State of Michigan,
and State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, signature here.
Looking forward to it.
Should we talk about this? Never mind.
I got the right hand.
That's right.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, item 3 looks pretty straightforward. Motion to release budgeted funds not to exceed $1,050 from training and conferences to allow 2 board members to attend 2016 Michigan Inland Lakes Convention. Do I hear that as a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion Sinkowitz,
I'll
second
second
Scott. Further discussion. Excellent convention. I think it's good to send folks there. I saw we didn't actually have the 2 names selected yet, but do we?
Well, I will be one, and Mr. Sargent will be the second. He's interested in getting right into the game, and it's relatively, well, it's very intensive and interesting as far as what they're doing this year.
Yeah.
So I have the agenda if anybody wants it.
Nope.
So we look forward to going.
Real good experience. All right, any further discussion on that motion? Roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
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 I like how even before I call roll call vote, Sheila's over there. She knew it was coming. List. Okay, item 4, motion to recommend council either to eliminate the boat cleaning station or arrange for someone to maintain it. A couple things here. I think folks remember we put this station in. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Pat led the charge on that.
Yeah, it's been 5 years now.
Brought back some information about viral hemorrhagic septicemia, which is still an issue in the Great Lakes Basin. I had the opportunity to talk with Nathan a little bit about it. I think you did too.
Yes.
And I think, Nathan, you said that DPW can take this over.
Yeah, I've had some discussions with Andy about it. We already have the disinfectant. We probably have a year's worth of it left.
Okay.
And so if that needs to be the outcome of this, I think we can work that out.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I was gonna make comments too. 'Cause like I said, when I was on a water management board, John was involved too, and we got this thing started. Yeah, that's why I had communications today with Gary Whalen, who's the program manager. He said it ain't a dead issue, literally, and if we could maintain it, they would appreciate it very much. And that's what I'm just saying, if we can get the DPW to help do that, that would be great. I just can't see it go away. all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything we can do to help minimize VHS going from lake to lake. And, as it sticks around, it'll develop different strains, and different strains will come in. And when we do those disinfectants, it also takes out a lot of other things that are undesirable in terms of invasive species and other things coming in. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have everything is down there. The DPW takes in a tank every year. We've got the sprayers, the signs are down there. And if we have chemicals, it's just to get it started and just to maintain it, okay? Just to make sure it's filled up. And if DPW can help with that, that would be great.
And there are a fair amount of people that use it.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, right next door, he realized that. And every time I've stopped there, people are using it. You talk to the boaters, they say, yes, they will use it, okay? Especially the bass guys.
Especially fishermen, yeah.
That's the main thing, okay? To keep our lake clean.
All right, so do I hear a motion to have DPW take over operation of the road cleaning
So
station?
moved.
Second.
Motion Nagy, second Duff. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, and I'm glad to see we're
Yes.
able to keep
Thank you.
it up. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the water board things. So, I do want to mention, before we move on to the next item, as I think you all have heard, Cliff Yance, been our chair of that board for a long time, done a really good job, good scientific background, looked at a lot of things. He's overloaded himself with volunteer things, including, I know he's involved in wells for
Wells for the World, I think is
yeah,
what he
wells for
calls
the
it.
world. I think it was
Yeah.
Africa in particular,
Yeah.
but other places
Nigeria
where
and
he's
Liberia,
bringing
yeah.
clean water to people
Right now.
who desperately need it. So, our lake's loss is some villages, somewhere's gaining clean water. So, kudos to Cliff for doing such a great job for
Could we
so
give a
long.
certificate of appreciation from the village for his service?
Oh, I think so.
I think Cliff has done a hell of a job.
Sure is.
Be blunt about it, he has. And he's got the knowledge, and now with our new guy here.
Maybe he'll watch.
Scared him off.
And the other Mike, that they can pick it up, because Cliff said he
Yeah.
would help out when he could, because I've talked to Cliff about it too, and
Yeah.
he's
Still available, but not.
he's still available, but not on a full-time basis. So, yeah, any kind of recognition for Cliff,
Yeah,
that's more than an attaboy.
I didn't want to let that go without recognizing his contribution. So, yeah, let's get a certificate and present that to him.
That'd be great.
And while we're still on water board item, I was gonna mention at the close, we are still short a boat for this weekend's goose roundup, egg roundup, so. If
What
anybody
day-
out there in the
what day's
audience.
the goose
wants to-
roundup?
This is
Egg
the roundup,
roundup.
the
Oh,
eggs,
eggs.
yeah, this is for eggs. We're gonna do it, I guess Saturday. So, and we're just looking for teams. Anybody that wants to become involved can get to me, get to the office. Tony Sinich on the board is in fact heading it up. They got, I think his team last year got 51 eggs. We got 14, so.
I'm not gonna be around, but if somebody wants to use my paddle boat, it's on the left,
Oh, is it?
front of the house.
Okay, that's really.
So, I mean, that might be good to go
Good,
in the shallows.
yeah.
John, I talked to him last night about it.
Oh, did you?
And I said I could get a hold of a boat to use, so.
Okay, good.
Was this just goose, right? Nothing
Just
to do
goose.
with swans?
Goose eggs?
Nothing to do with
The swans we're going to do through the
the
DNR.
DNR, yeah.
Okay, I think that brings us to the end of water board, brings us to reports and recommendations from Engineer Powell, starting with grinder pumps. And I believe what we have now is not what was originally in our packets. I think we've got a better solution.
Well, it's certainly a different solution. Hopefully it's, you think it's better. You have my letter before you that kind of summarizes how many pumps are used during the year. We had thought that we were going to be recommending 20 additional pumps to be purchased in our communication, and we always try to coordinate our efforts with Commerce Township. The Commerce Township allows the village to store whatever pumps that we purchase with theirs in the wastewater treatment plant, so that's certainly helpful. But they have agreed to work with us and sell us their pumps that they purchased, their last truckload, at a cost of about $2,900 a piece instead of the $3,900 as quoted here. They were able to purchase a truckload at the previous prices, and they're willing to extend that offer to the village to help us out. And the way we expect that would work is we will work with them, we will buy them on an individual basis, one pump at a time as we need them. When the quantity or the stock gets low, he'll take the issue back to the township board, and I'll bring it back to you as a council, and then we'll hopefully jointly purchase another truckload so that we can continue that savings as we go forward. So I think this is a win-win all the way around, and I thank Commerce Township for that offer. And my suggestion is that council accept their offer and we utilize their stock until we need to reorder.
I think that's a really good solution. And buying them in the bigger bulk
Do
is
we
definitely.
need
gonna
any
give us
kind
a-
of motion for that, or?
I think we do. I think we just need a motion to, go in with Commerce
Commerce
Township
Township.
on pumps going
Pumps.
forward as presented by the engineer.
Okay, that's my motion.
Motion Sinkowitz, second Stack.
Discussion.
Discussion.
The pumps that they have, is there any difference from the pumps that will be coming in the future?
No, they're identical.
Okay.
They haven't changed the style.
So it's not an
E1
older model,
pumps.
newer model, no?
No, everything's the same.
Fine.
Under discussion, if I could.
Sure.
Next month, and I don't have the statistics here because this came up at the last minute, but we are going to need maybe couple extensions for the pumps, and then some special extra long wiring harnesses for ours. Some of our residents need a 75-foot and 100-foot extension away from the grinder pumps. I don't have the precise number for those because the number quoted in the letter was in combination with the purchase of a pump. And so I'll get those to you next month. We're not in a hurry, but I wanted to let you know I'll be before you next month for those items.
Do we have to stock that, Mike? Or is that-
We need to stock that because the lead item is, we can't take a chance that a homeowner is going to be put off just because of the length of a wire.
How many are we talking about? And I missed it in here, about how many of these extensions you want?
Typically, we get one 75-footer and one 100-foot wire, and then one 12-inch extension for the grinder pumps.
Okay.
So we're talking about $2,900 per pump there. This would have been $3,900. So
Correct.
we're saving residents $1,000 in
That's correct.
installation.
That's
A
correct.
couple of them.
Money in their pockets.
$4,797.
Well, with that extra stuff, if you need it, I'm sure that if you need it between now and the next meeting,
I think the administrator will.
can
work with
handle
us.
that more than capable.
Correct.
Good, okay.
All right, further discussion on that motion? No, I think it's a great idea to go in with Commerce on this. Let me get a roll call vote on that one.
McGee.
Yes.
Maggie.
Yes.
Duff.
Yes.
Staff.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Medrow.
Yes.
Sinkowitz.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Item 2, Marshar Water Main.
Next item, just wanted to inform council that the construction drawings are done and the bid specifications are done for the extension of the water main from Glengarry Road down about 300 feet down Marshar to pick up the 3 homes that we were having problems with. They're out for bids and out for permitting as well. What I was hoping to be able to do is get this project approved with the low bidder prior to them getting started in the main part of the construction season. I'd like to get them started immediately this spring. Therefore, I have asked that the contractors submit their bids by the 26th of April. And I think Nathan has probably put in a discussion on a special meeting for like the 27th of this month. So when it gets to that point, that's what that's about, so that we can maybe award a contract to the contractor, get them started first thing in the spring, and get that project completed. All right? Any
Mike?
questions? Yeah.
Were the people past the first 3 on Marcher or across the street, was anybody else contacted to see if they were interested?
We actually sent letters to everyone up and down Marshar.
Right.
We have had 2 calls. Very interestingly, the lady, the very next home down from the 3, the 4th home down, was curious as to why we just wasn't included. Nathan sent her a letter and kind of explained the situation, and the cost was probably a little bit greater than what she wanted to just to have city water. Nathan informed me that there was another homeowner, the 5th home down, who was interested in the water main as well. I believe Nathan successfully let her know that to get water to her would be even more expensive than the completely adjacent home or the next home. But it might indicate that there could be an interest for a special assessment district down the way to extend water further down the street. That would be a different letter with a little different options. Remember, this one, we wanted to get it done quickly. We didn't have time to negotiate through an SAD process.
And, we definitely are going to need to have a work session. Well, it'll be a special session this month. We'll get to that when we talk there. But we've got a recommendation from finance that we want to take some time looking over. So I think putting this on that as the first agenda item there should work fine for everybody.
Okay, thank you, council.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Before we move forward, I guess I wasn't astute enough to pick it up, but I see we had 4 motions from the Water Management Board, but there was actually a 5th under 10D. And this regards the Phragmites and Invasive Species Act. Did we want to carry that through, or was that just, if you could look, so we can make a decision? I did bring a map here, and that's what sort of keyed me off.
I think,
Or you want to move beyond that for the moment?
so I saw that there was a recommendation. I believe the administrator was investigating it, and I think he's still working on that.
Okay.
I thought it was a discussion to ask council about engaging the property owner, and I started to look into that.
Okay, all right. I just, in case there were any questions on it, I did bring a Oakland County overview. That's what I passed out, just to, so everybody had to focus on what particular area that was. I guess most of us know what particular area that is.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, that's down there by the Penny Lake Apartments, where
Okay.
we've had that Phragmites problem. Water Board knocked them down a few times with some success.
With success, yeah, but you have to keep at it, and that's what the question is.
Yeah, so-
Timing on keeping at it.
So that did come, and I know, as he said, the administrator's already begun working on that one.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
I
Good.
think we don't, as council, have anything to do with it right now. Okay, brings us to item D, Village of Wolverine Lake Parks and Rec Facebook page, potentially converting the page to a general Village of Wolverine Lake page. As you saw, the administrators had some conversation with Park and Rec about bringing it in, making it more of a general village-wide Facebook page. And Nathan, you want to explain?
Yeah, this came up at the last Park and Rec Board meeting. It also came up at the last Water Management
Exactly
Board
so.
meeting. And so the Park and Rec Board was asking us to utilize our existing page a little bit more. And the Water Management Board is asking us to create a page for them. So I thought that since we already do have a page in existence that's managed by our staff here in the office, that it would be good if we just converted that to a more general page that would continue to feature Parks and Rec items, also Water Management Board items, as well as numerous other things that could be of interest to our residents. So that was what I was hoping to get accomplished with the page. Certainly, it's an easy way to get more information out. We do have a lot of people who follow the page and who click on things that we post, and so I think there's a market there for more information via Facebook, and that's what we'd like to do.
So it would be, in addition to our other efforts, really just broadening it out.
I imagine you're probably going to reach people, a lot of people on Facebook that we don't reach on email.
Yep.
Yeah, what we find is that people usually won't just go to our website to find information, but if it pops up on their Facebook feed, suddenly you get a lot of clicks
Right.
on it. So it drives folks to our website where all the information is.
People will share things that look interesting there, and it's sort of virtual word of mouth. So do I have a motion from council to recommend we go ahead creating a
So moved.
village Facebook page out of the Park and Rec one? Motion Sinkowitz, second Duff. Further discussion?
So basically, it's going to be like a advanced newsletter, more information.
And more information, more current, so we can update it day to day if need be.
Good.
All right, any further discussion?
Great idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, annual goals and performance objectives for the administrator. As you saw, our new administrator's contract calls for an annual review of goals and performance objectives. What I was hoping from council was to, and he's required to remind us of that in April, and he has. What I was hoping from council was a motion to send this to the administrative committee. And what we'll do is we'll put together sort of a combination of the existing administrator's annual review and some of the goals that we set in last January to work on. We didn't do a goal-setting session this year because we were in the midst of finding a new administrator. We'll put something together on that, bring it back to council next month. So do I hear a motion to send it to admin?
So moved.
Motion Duff, second Nagy. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Look for more on that next month. In blazing speed, that brings us to the second call for public.
Is this a new record?
It is.
Then, yeah.
First playoff games tonight, you know?
It is, yeah.
Don't get used to this, Nathan.
I didn't forget things on the agenda.
Opportunity for citizens to address the council regarding any and all village business. Seeing none,
It's
I will
blazing speed tonight.
close the second call to the public. Brings us on to recommendations from Captain Ellsworth for the police department. Number one, police department bicycle purchase.
As you know, we discussed this last year. and
Here
our,
comes the mic.
Thank you, Ken. As you know, we discussed this last year with the creation of Wolverine Lake Bike Pass and the limited accessibility to some of the areas in the park. We felt it necessary to explore the pros and cons of being able to purchase a bike and be able to man that and be able to get out there. With our current personnel, they showed an interest, and therefore we looked into it. We budgeted for it, and we felt now was the right time. We investigated, decided what we needed for a bike, and we were able to come up with a really good price of $1,054.94, and that has everything we need. It's basically, when it gets here, we make sure all the air in the tires is good, and off we go. So it's a turnkey type situation, and we're looking forward to getting this going.
And just to be clear, that is not the cheap schwinn you buy down at the...
No, it certainly is not. It's designed for, there are reasons that the expense is there. It's very well made. These are the same bikes that the other departments, in fact, Michigan State University just purchased 21 of these bikes. So I think it's going to be a good fit. It's just another tool in our toolbox we can use, and I think it's a great community outreach program that we can use rather than, kids are much more apt to approach us on our bikes rather than on our patrol cars. So I think it's a great another tool for PR too.
Is there any specific bicycle patrol training that's helpful for folks?
There is, and we'll end up getting some of that. We want to see the first year kind of work out the kinks and see who is really going to use this and go from there. But that's going to be our goal, is eventually get somebody else through a training. It's a pretty physically demanding training for these for the use of bikes. And with the limited amount right now that I think we're going to use it, I don't know that we're going to want to invest that kind of money into the training. However, there is a police bike or mountain bike association that is currently, once they found out we are looking to purchase a bike, they're constantly sending me training information. So that's something we're going to look into.
All we need is a mountain.
Exactly. Well, after you ride around the lake one time, some of these hills feel like mountains. So,
John, are you thinking that this will be used like on Tiki Night and things like that?
oh, most certainly. Yeah, that's
Okay.
just one of the areas.
Now-
You know, in the summertime when we have double coverage in the afternoon, I would like the officers to be able to go out and utilize that just to be in the neighborhoods, go down to the parks. It's a great tool. People don't expect that. So
My question to you, though, is do we have somebody that you are going to put on it? Or is it a volunteer, and if you don't get no volunteers, it doesn't go out?
no, I actually have 2 volunteers that are anxiously awaiting for that.
Okay.
And I do have one one reserve officer that's been through the training already. So we've been borrowing our bikes the last few years for Tiki Night. And I just think it's time we invested in our own, so we had it, and it's available to us a little bit more often.
And a siren too, huh?
And a siren.
And they can go quick on Tiki Night.
And they can't they?
Quicker than a car.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get I see you got a helmet in there, we're gonna get the Wolverine Lake logos on the helmet too?
We could do that if you'd like.
I think the siren and the lights will indicate
I think it'll be a pretty good indication. It does say police on it. It says police on the bag of the bike. It says police on the bike too. So I think we're going to be pretty well marked.
Are there going to be any baseball cards tacked to the side so they make it?
No, they don't make the clicking noise when we go down the roads.
That bike doesn't have spokes, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, the ones I've seen, they're like...
Solid.
Aluminum wheel.
Not solid, but they're like, almost like a mag wheel, had 4 big,
No,
thick...
these have spokes.
Okay,
You got a portable radar unit?
No, we're not gonna go that
all
far.
right.
Pull over.
Lighten up on the chief here.
Okay, at this point, do I hear a motion to purchase the bicycle for $1,054 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion Sinkowitz, second Stack. Further discussion? Roll call vote.
Maggie?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Stack?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Landro?
Yes.
Sinkowitz?
Yes.
Maggie?
Yes. All right, ammunition purchase. Looks pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. We actually had to go outstate this year because of the To get the ammunition we wanted, we went to this, I'm trying to see, the Ultramax ammunition company from Rapid City, South Dakota, to get the actual amount of ammo that we wanted. So instead of doing an in-state purchase, they quit carrying the specific ammunition that we requested, and this was actually cheaper. So we're requesting the 4,000 rounds.
All right, do I
To
hear?
approve as presented.
Motion Stack, second Duff, to approve the purchase of 4,000 rounds for $1,763 as presented. Further discussion? Roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Item 3, bringing our police boat into the present.
Yeah, as you know, in 2009, during the midst of our shared services, we restriped the boat with both Walled Lake and Wolverine Lake logos, and it still has the combined seal on there. It's in pretty poor shape after this many years, and some of the lettering has came off. I'd like to see us do a little bit better design. I think you have the design there in front of you. I think this is much cleaner, and matter of fact, we've raised the letters up so it doesn't get beat up by the docks and and approaching other boats. So I think this is going to last longer. It's a little bit heavier duty, and I think we really need to re-stripe that boat.
I'd like to make a motion to have the boat graphics redone.
Second and motion.
Motion Duff, second Nagy, to have Graphic Concepts of Farmington Hills redo the graphics for a price of $1,500. Further discussion? Nope, its time has come.
Yes, indeed.
Another roll call vote?
Stack?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Nedrow?
Yes.
Sinkowitz?
Yes.
McGee?
Yes.
Nagy?
Yes.
Duff?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and brings us to item 4. Recommendation to refer discussion of potential restructuring to the admin committee so that we can start to open up that discussion about essentially number of officers, command structure, that sort of thing. John, anything to add there?
No, I think the time has come that we need to really rethink how we're doing things and going forward, how we can work smarter and keep our stable workforce. And going forward, I'd like to see some slight changes, but I think overall it's going to be, I think we're doing pretty well with what we have.
I think we're looking at something incremental.
I think we are, and like I say, I have a 3-year and a 5-year plan, and I just want to explain myself and the reasons why I'd like to do what I'd like to do, and I think we need to have a discussion.
All right, we wanted to make sure council was aware of that, and you referred to admin, and then we'll enter into that discussion and bring it back to council. So do I hear a motion to send that to admin?
So moved.
Motion Stack, second Nagy. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. We're going to, I don't want to jinx us, and I don't think I can at this point.
It beat the
This
hour
could be,
record
this
from
could be,
last
this
week.
could be a record. Set topics for the April 27th, 2016 work session. I would actually like to hold a special session in which we, number one, award a bid for the Marshall Water Project, and number 2, discuss recommendation from the Finance Committee. Finance Committee has been taking a look at all the capital improvements that need doing in the village. As we've said for a while, there's a number of them. When we looked at it, we found that we as a village, I think as everybody knows, we have built a very substantial fund balance. When we looked it over, one of the ways that we built that fund balance during some very difficult financial times was by deferring a lot of potential projects that we could have done, a lot of ways we could have invested in the village. We have a list of things that we should work on. Finance Committee felt that we can afford to spend down some of our fund balance on some specific issues. We don't have enough to do everything. There's a variety of things that need doing, everything from parks. Roads are certainly the major item in there. We have certainly talked about the trash pickup, how we do that, pathways. There's a variety of things. And I think at this point, what we'd like to do is engage the whole council in the discussion, get a sense of, where our priorities are as a village, what we want to spend money on if we're going to move forward and spend a little bit of this fund balance down. And the recommendation would be to, over the next 5 years, reduce the amount of fund balance from where it is, close to 100% of our general fund, which is about 2.3 million, down to about 50%. The final number would be right around 1.25, 1.3 million. So even with that, given all of the things that we have that we need to do, especially with roads, which are just, badly underfunded in Michigan, as we all know, not enough money to do everything. There is enough money to do a lot of things of great benefit to the village, of great benefit to the residents. So that's the discussion we'd like to have in a couple weeks. So do I hear a motion to set a special session for April 27th, 2016, with the topics to be the Marshar water main bid and recommendations from finance on capital expenditure plan?
So moved.
Motion Scott, second Nagy. Further discussion?
Had a question. I sent around the integrated spreadsheets. Did everybody have a chance to see if they opened and integrated?
I have not opened.
Okay. I just was wondering if we should, prior to the work session, get them out to the other members of council, or Nathan, if it works, you can do that.
I believe it did work on mine, so. I'll
Okay,
take a
good.
look
Yeah,
at
as
it
long as you
again.
do it in the same directory, it should auto-link. And then I'll get you copies, sir.
Thank you. Yep, so what that spreadsheet is it's a spreadsheet. I think most of you have seen that before. It was created by the
yeah.
treasurer a few years ago. And it really looks at all of our long-term expected expenditures. A lot of them are fairly straightforward year to year, and then it lets us play with things. Okay, if we were to increase revenue, it does this. If we decrease revenue, it does that. If we spend at this rate, this is what happens. If we spend at the other rate, the fund balance goes the other direction. So it's a really good tool for long-term financial planning. So and if you have questions about it, you'd like to see it, we'll get it sent around to everybody. Please talk to the treasurer, and I'm sure he will be happy to show you what's in there and what we're looking at. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. So council email usage, reminder from the president. So this seemed a good time. Got a new administrator coming on, to remind everybody that we have, and there's been a bit of a kerfluffle at the state level. So,
Kerfluffle.
well, there was something much worse at the state level,
Yes.
but what happened at the state level involved employees of DEQ using personal emails in a deliberate attempt to avoid FOIA requirements. So, number one, I want to remind everybody, as you all know, that using a personal email address does not exempt you from FOIA. You are still every bit as subject to FOIA. What it does is it means that some attorney may very well, for disclosure purposes, want to go in and look at every item in your personal email. Number two, we have those emails. We got them up and running. I don't know that everybody has used them consistently all the time the way they should. And I know that on occasion, it's been easier to find people with their personal email address than their village email address. So what I'd like us to do going forward is just all things village email. At the very minimum, make sure you include everybody's village email on any communication. If you're not getting a response, if you need to track somebody down, you go to their personal email. I would prefer everybody check their email regularly, at least once a day. But make sure that you're always including a village email address on that. Let's just, and to be clear, there's been nothing untoward, nothing that anybody has done is wrong, but I really want to make sure that, we don't present any appearance of impropriety. When I looked at what was happening at the state level with the DEQ with regard to some of those Flintwater emails, it was just appalling to me the way that they were trying to circumvent the law. And I really want to make sure that we don't put ourselves in that sort of position it's why we got everybody village email addresses. So let's just make sure, going forward, that those are the email addresses we use. So, which means that all of you are responsible for making sure you go in and check your email fairly regularly. So, that is the reminder from the president. Pending business, we have none.
Mr. President,
Yes.
if I can comment on your email thing, I just want to throw a quick housekeeping thing up there. When you use your email, we have a very limited amount of email space, and you need to make sure you read it. If you need to save it to your computer, but delete and then empty your trash, because we get up into the range of the 80-90% capacity, and obviously not everybody does delete this stuff, but when we get up that far, it jams up our system, so we can't communicate and work in here. So it's very, very important that once you do that, make sure you clear out your emails.
That is a good reminder to all of us, and because those email addresses are posted publicly, they tend to attract a lot of spam, and a lot of well-intentioned spam with really large attachments sometimes. I mean, not Nigerian prince spam, but from various folks who are have services for government, announcing job fairs, a wide variety of things. So it's a good idea to make sure you clean them out. And also, those are not actually deleted until you go into your trash and delete them from your trash. So make sure you go in there and delete them from there too. So that's email.
Can I ask one quick question?
Sure.
on that? A, is there any ability to buy any extra space, just out of curiosity, if it's creating a problem? And in addition to that, does the server retain those non-distributed emails? Does anybody know that? I mean, if you're in Gmail, for example, it will retain non-distributed.
This is county-hosted email,
Yeah.
and as it's a webmail system, and we're not paying anything for it. It's among the
Right.
things that are. We did amp up the amount of capacity that's allowable to us maybe a few years ago. I think if people were to do a regular, as the chief pointed out, a regular kind of maintenance and read them and update them, and we won't have any problems with the existing capacity that we have.
Okay, I was looking in there to see if there was a automatic ability to empty the trash, and it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Is there?
If you go
Yeah.
to.
I mean, on its own, once you trash it, it stays there.
It stays in the trash, but there's a button to empty trash.
No,
Right,
I
at
know
the- at
that.
the
I
top,
was
but you
wondering
might have to
if
do
you
a couple
click it,
pages
so
for it.
once you trash it, it goes out of trash, but that's not applicable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there are a lot of emails. Once you delete it, it stays in trash for a day or two and it cleans out.
It just goes. It
This
cleans
system
itself.
doesn't
It
do
does
that.
do that.
And if you
I thought I missed something, that's
And
why I was asking.
if you
the question.
delete several hundred in a fell swoop, you're going to have to go through and remove several things of trash. Ask the man who knows.
Okay.
But
Actually,
Clicking on top of you can usually get rid of about 13 at a time.
Right.
And if you go from screen to screen to screen, you can get through it pretty quick. The other thing is, once they're gone, they're gone.
and also, once they're in the trash, if you click on trash, there's a drop-down box, you can empty trash. You don't have to click each page.
Right.
Each individual
Just-
one, no.
Just
No,
empty
you
the
can just-
trash.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a drop-down.
Oh, boy, I wish somebody told me that.
It took me a couple of years, and I knew where you were going with that because I did the same thing. So there is an area that says empty trash, and it will dump them all. So you only have to delete, you can select all, delete, and select all, delete. And then once you're in the trash, click empty trash, and it just takes care
Well,
of
it's a little arrow on the right-hand side.
Correct. It's a little drop-down
As a
box.
drop-down, says empty trash.
That doesn't trash them from the server.
Yes, I am a professional for a digital technology company. No, thanks. That's good. to
I
know.
figured you actually knew where you were going with that.
Okay, anything else on email? All right, update from Captain Ellsworth.
Well, just real quick, Officer Morosco completed his firearms instructor training school and is now the primary firearms instructor for the police department. We've also received our naloxone opioid overdose treatment kits, and they've been issued to each officer, as well as one for each patrol car. And we're preparing for the upcoming summer months and looking forward to starting to interview for a part-time Marine patrol position. And we've got a couple of really good applicants, and myself and Mr. Bird will be sitting down with them in the next couple of weeks. We just have to get some times together and I think it's going to be a very, very good summer.
John's not coming back?
Limited basis. I've asked him to come back and help train, and he wants to still work Tiki Night for some reason. So, but he really does want to slow down. He said he'd pick up a weekend a month or something, but to make sure everything is going smooth. But I really rely on him to maintain the boat, make sure everything's good, and he's willing to do that and stay somewhat connected with us. So I think we're going to be good.
It is worth mentioning while we're on police issues. I hadn't noticed, but I saw the administrator noticed, and it had escaped my notice. One of those niche.com surveys recently did name us as one of the 5 safest suburbs in Michigan.
state, yeah.
So well done to everybody on the police department.
Thank you very much.
Who has patrolled a lot. Okay, update from the administrator. How's it going? Oh, I'm sorry. Update from the treasurer first. Sorry. I'm out of order now. Probably lost our shot at the record.
Budget preparation continues apace, Mr. President. We should have some, as we're on track to present it to you at the next regularly scheduled meeting in May, and then for discussion ensuing at the work session later that month. We have some numbers that just came up today from Merge Live, from Ken, about putting the presentation monitor on the wall, also cleaning up this situation here to the tune of about $3,600. When I say clean up, we'll get rid of the wires. They won't be visible in the videos. We'll put something where they come up through the desk.
I won't be running over a vehicle with my chair.
Well, I don't know about that. But
Oh, okay.
anyway, the issue is that, remember, this is not a general fund expenditure per se. We get to use those PEG fees that we
Yeah.
have been escrowing over the years. We've got about $13,000 worth of them right now at the moment, with more coming in quarterly. So I think it's a worthy expense, and I'm sure Ken will do a great job. But I think maybe what we'll do is, since we just got this today, we'll present it at your next regularly scheduled meeting for approval and so forth. I think that's probably the right protocol, Mr. President. What do
Okay,
you feel
give you a
on that?
chance to review it and make sure we've got everything lined up.
We might have to do some different things with cable and some other stuff, so.
Okay.
But he and I will get to work on this.
Sounds good to me.
And that's it for me.
Thank you. Sorry for jumping forward, and great news there. I'm looking forward to getting that next step. Okay, now an update from the administrator.
I just wanted to thank you all for your patience as I get acclimated to the job, and it's been great getting to meet our staff. We have a lot of really good people who work here. It's a relief to know that every council meeting is going to be this quick and easy, so I'm happy to see that. But no, it's just sort of want to close the book on thanking you all for the warm welcome. It's been really nice. This is Severe Weather Awareness Week. There was a warning siren that went off at 1 o'clock today around the county. Just wanted to point out that the county has sent us pamphlets that residents can access if they like on preparing their property for those types of weather events. So if anybody wants to check those out, they're upstairs on the glass display across from the welcome desk. But that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Council comments. We'll start down there this month. Mr. Scott.
Well, I can't think of any comments right now, to be honest with you, so I'll pass it on to Brian.
Medro.
Welcome, Mr. Byrd. Looking forward to working with you.
Sinkowitz.
Well, you got to the first month, so you're going to be stuck here for a while.
Good.
Keep up the good work.
Contracts in gear.
Stack.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Byrd and come on spring.
Duff. Nagy.
Yeah, welcome, Nathan. Good to be working with you so far. I want to thank the council and the DPW for stepping up and working on taking care of the boat wash station. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Council's eager to get us out of here too tonight.
Ready to stick to that.
One period.
Puck drop.
Front there.
All right, I have nothing to add myself, so
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
motion Sinkowitz, second Negro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Wow.
Meeting is adjourned.
Rangers all through the summer, okay, guys?
Insane. Like the one.